Hello, everyone. Thank you for volunteering your valuable time at Dress for Success Austin. Today, we are going to learn how to sort clothing donations. I am Candy, the Director of Volunteer Engagement. That means I recruit, train, and support volunteers just like you. Today, we are going to learn about the kinds of donations we receive, how we prioritize those donations, how to sort donations using the sort method, how to get clothing ready for clients for consignment or to recycle, and learn about our consignment partners and how we fundraise to support our workforce development programs. Our donations come from a few different groups. Our largest resource is the public, or individuals that bring us their unwanted clothing, shoes, and accessories. Corporations and other organizations also host donation drives for us, where they will collect items and bring them to us. Sometimes retailers will donate excess inventory. We often receive donations from clothing stores in the mall, where they would donate anything that doesn't sell to us. Or like recently, we received a large donation of Rothy's flats. We receive clothing donations at our office during limited hours. Donations are taken at the front desk and then brought to our sorting room. The sorting room has tables, racks, a clothing steamer, an iron, and all the supplies you need to sort through donations. So, what are our donation guidelines? We say all clothing must be in new or like new condition, clean and on hangers, which makes it easier to sort. It's hard to sort items when they are stuffed into bags or boxes, and it also creates a lot of waste. The clothing must be professional, interview appropriate, and currently in style. I like to say no older than maybe 5 years. However, that is not always what we actually receive, which is why sorting volunteers are so important. You help us decide what to keep and what we do with items we can't accept. So, what happens to donations when they come in? At Dress for Success Austin, we are very focused on sustainability. Nothing goes to the landfill unless we receive used cosmetics or toiletries. Everything else we find a sustainable solution for. So how do we prioritize donations? How do we decide what happens to a donated item? I always say the client comes first and gets only the best items. Dress for Success is not a clothes closet. We strive to provide new or like new professional clothing because there are plenty of resources for women that need casual secondhand clothing. Second, if there are items that are not professional, but a nice brand or designer brand, or items that we have too much inventory of already, we can consign them to raise money for our 6 workforce development programs. Unfortunately, we don't have the resources to launder or repair items. So if something is stained or in disrepair, we recycle it into our clothing recycle bin. Next, we are going to learn the sort method for deciding what to keep for clients, what to consign, and what to recycle. This is just a way to remember a short checklist when deciding what to do with donations. First is S, size, style, condition. For sizes, it's good to know that we are always in need of sizes 14 plus, petites, and shoes sized 9 and up. But still, keep in mind that we only keep things that are new or like new. For style, items need to be interview appropriate or appropriate for a modern professional setting. Even though Austin is a casual city, we provide professional clothing. Like I said before, there are other resources for casual clothes, and we don't give clients vintage clothing. For condition, we only keep clothes that are new or like new. Condition is very important. We want the women we serve to feel empowered and elevated by the clothing they receive from us. Next is O for office appropriate. When looking at something that was donated, ask yourself if this item is appropriate to wear in a professional setting. Is it something that can be dressed up for an interview, then dressed down for a business casual environment? Clients get 2 complete outfits, so when they work with our stylist, they help them decide how to put those outfits together for interviews or for the workplace. But as sorting volunteers, we want to make sure that what the client and volunteer have to choose from is office appropriate. R stands for read. Read the brand list. In the inventory and sorting room, there is a binder that lists all the brands we send to our consignment partners. I find it helpful to read the brand list as you sort so you know if something is designer and should be consigned. T stands for tag and take. If you decide that the item is appropriate for a professional setting and it is an item we need, then you will tag the item and either put it in the inventory rack for volunteers to put in the boutique, or you can put it in the boutique yourself. We will review the guidelines for tagging items and organizing them over the next few slides. Now let's learn how to get clothing ready to put in the boutique for our clients and volunteers to choose from. I know it may seem like there are a lot of rules, but it is very important that when our clients visit, they are invited into a well-organized boutique. Their time is valuable. Often the women we serve have arrived on public transportation and have had to arrange for childcare, or they are taking unpaid time off work. So we want the time they spend with us to be efficient, and that when the professional styling volunteers are working with the clients, they can find what they need easily without spending a lot of time searching through the racks. So I like to say, hang, tag, steam. When items are chosen for clients, you want to make sure that it is on the correct hanger. We use velvet hangers for blouses, cardigans, jackets, pants, and dresses because they take up less space on the rack and because they won't slip off and fall onto the floor. For skirts, we use clear clippy hangers. For pantsuit sets, meaning a jacket and pants, we use the velvet hanger and then fold the pants over. For skirt suit sets, we use a suit hanger that has a clippy piece to hang the skirt under the jacket. Next, we tag all the clothing that goes into the boutique. We have little custom tags, and we use a tagging gun to make sure all items are correctly sized and then can be easily seen by the volunteers in the boutique. You only need to tag clothing we are keeping. You don't need to tag consignment items. Finally, we steam or iron the items if they need it. We can't assume that clients will be able to iron or steam at home, and sometimes they are going straight to their interviews from the appointment. So all items need to be unwrinkled and able to wear to an interview that same day. So now let's talk about blouses and cardigans. We don't hang camisoles or camis. They go in a drawer in the boutique. Blouses and cardigans go on velvet hangers. If you are looking at the front of the garment, the hanger hook is open to the left and tagged on the right. Blouses and cardigans are tagged with a letter size, such as SML or small, medium, large, etc. Even if the tag size says something like a size 12, for example, you will convert the size using your best guess to a letter size. So a size 12 can be converted to a large, or L for the letter. So when you're tagging any of the clothing, just be careful. The tagging gun is sharp. Try not to damage the fabric. Tag at the seam in an inconspicuous place in case the tagging gun leaves a hole. Then they are hung in the boutique on the floor racks by style, then size, and sorted by color. We'll talk a little more about that later. Dresses go on velvet hangers. If you are looking at the front of the garment, the hanger hook is open to the left and tagged on the right. Dresses, unlike blouses and cardigans, are tagged with a number size, like 16, 18, 20. So even if the tag on the garment says it's a size L, for example, you will convert the size using your best guess to a letter size, or to a number size. A size large can be converted to a 10 or 12. And again, be careful to not damage the fabric. Tag at the seam in an inconspicuous place, and then dresses are hung in the boutique on the wall and round racks by style, then size, and sorted by color. Suit sets and pieces of suits can be a bit more complicated. However, again, it is done this way to save space in the boutique. So, for all suits or pieces of suits, hangers always have the hook open to the left, and they are tagged on the right, and they are given number sizes. So first, let's talk about suit sets. For pantsuits, the jacket is hung on a velvet hanger. The pants are then folded over the hanger inside the jacket. Then the jacket is buttoned. You tag at the bottom of the jacket sleeve. And then for skirt suits, we use a suit hanger. Suit hangers have clips. The jacket is hung on the top, the skirt is hung from the clips, then the jacket is buttoned over the skirt, and then tagged at the bottom of the jacket sleeve. For separates, jackets are hung on a velvet hanger and tagged at the bottom of the sleeve. Pants are folded over a velvet hanger and tagged at the back of the waist so that the tag can be seen while hanging on the rack in the boutique. And skirts are hung on clear plastic clippy hangers and tagged at the right side of the waist. Then they are hung in the boutique on the floor racks by style, then size, and sorted by color. I know that was a lot, but don't worry, these graphics are hung in the donation sorting room for your reference. I often hold items up to the graphics to compare what I am doing in real life to these images. Okay, enough about hangers and tags. Let's talk about accessories. This is one thing we're really picky about: clean shoes and handbags. Keep only really clean, undamaged shoes, jewelry, and handbags, and only new, unused cosmetics and toiletries. There are shoe cleaning and shining kits in the sorting room. If you are keeping shoes for clients, then you put a little dot sticker on the inside with the size and then put it on the shoe rack in the boutique. Handbags for clients are wiped clean, checked for money always, and put in the boutique by color. I always check for money because I have found anything from pennies to a $25 check for us. I even keep a piggy bank for the change that we find. When cosmetics and toiletries are donated, we only keep new, unused items. Anything you suspect may be used should be thrown away. When you put clothing in the boutique, please organize by type, size, and color. We use the Roy G. Biv system. In case you haven't heard of that, that system is based on the colors of the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Organizing clothes this way makes it easy for volunteers to quickly find what they need when they are working with clients. The last few slides, we have talked about donations that we keep for clients. Now let's talk about what we do with clothing that we don't keep for clients. Even though we ask for only new or like new items, we often receive clothing that is very worn. If clothing, shoes, or purses have stains, tears, if they're missing buttons, if they are pilly, meaning they have those little pills created by being worn, if it's faded, or it smells like smoke, or is covered in pet hair, then we have to recycle. We have a recycle bin in our parking lot, and unfortunately we can't launder or repair items, so sometimes we just have to let it go. We put items for recycling in a trash bag and take it to the bin. These items are sold to thrift stores by the pound. Remember, if we can't use the clothing for clients, then we try to fundraise for our 6 workforce development programs. So what about clothing that is non-professional but a nice brand, or is an item we have too much of already? Then we consign. Remember, we have a notebook in the sorting room with a list of all the consignment partners and the brands and kinds of clothing they take. While you're still learning, it is helpful to keep the notebook open and reference the labels of the clothing you're sorting. If it is a high-end designer like Gucci, Prada, Louis Vuitton, then it goes to the real bin. If it is a mall brand like White House Black Market and Taylor, etc., then it is hung on the consignment rack and volunteers pick up throughout the week and take to our local consignment partners. For fast fashion brands like H&M, Forever 21, brands from Target or Walmart, they get boxed for ThredUp, which is an online thrift store. And finally, always remember, if you're not sure, then you can hang on the not sure rack. There is a rack behind the sorting table that is clearly labeled that, and I review it every day. So if you're not sure where something goes, just hang it there and I'll make sure it gets to the right place. And don't worry, I know this is all very subjective, so just do your best. Again, this is not a perfect science. Sorting donations and deciding what to keep for clients is very subjective. We receive a lot of clothing donations and it can be confusing, and that's okay. Don't be afraid to ask a lot of questions. The most important thing is that our clients have everything they need to feel powerful and confident in the clothing we give them. Volunteers that sort donations are essential to the work we do. So thank you so much for helping us serve the women of Central Texas.